Welcome back into the Cowboys Report as we recap all of the many things the Dallas Cowboys did or lost on day 2 of NFL free agency, and they didn't do anything, so we're going to look at some guys that are still available more than anything. The one move that directly impacts the Dallas Cowboys is Dante Fowler is the latest Washington Cowboys legend to join the Commanders. Details not yet known at this time. I would guess 1-year deal in the 3 to 5-ish, maybe a bit more than that, $1 million ballpark. This is very unsurprising, right? Dan Quinn wants to get some of his passers in Washington. That surprises nobody. You know, they're going to pay more in Washington than they would have paid in Dallas, and frankly, more than I would have wanted them to pay in Dallas. So I have no real complaints, issues, etc. with this particular move. And now your defensive end depth chart is finalized, barring more moves. Your 6 players that are under contract, no more outside pending free agents, etc., from that perspective, it's just pretty straightforward breakdown from that perspective. It's Micah Parsons, Tank Lawrence, Sam Williams. It is the status of, say about Junior Fehoko, Tyron Smith, Darrell Johnson. They will always add some more talent there, but it might be the draft. The free agency options I'll mention, look, Danielle Hunter's not signed yet. I'm not going to get my hopes up at all. That's an unrealistic expectation, I think, for this team. DJ Wanham's a free agent. Cheap guys, I think Yannick Ngakoue could be a great fit for like what Dallas wants to do at pass rusher. Carl Lawson stands out. Manuel Ogba's a free agent, I believe, still. Kayvon Chasen, Ifedi Dingbo. There are some depth pieces there. Draft pick wise, maybe you target someone on day 3. That's the thing that I keep saying. Target someone on day 3 for like 4 different spots because they haven't done anything in free agency. Maybe Latu falls to you in round 1. Chop Robinson is an explosive player, but I don't know if I want him in round one. Won't get there in round 2. Chris Braswell, Braylon Trice, maybe Gabriel Murphy day 3. Austin Booker if he slides day 3. I know you're traumatized by Taco Charlton, and it would really stand out if they did it for Jalen Harrell, but like 5th round, I'd have no issues doing that. It's just not a good path this team should end up pursuing from that perspective. But that is the 3rd former Dallas Cowboy player the Commanders have signed. Maybe they're not done yet. If you think the Commies, they just want to be the Cowboys still. New regime, same old shit. Type me in the comments section. To recap the players lost here, Tyler Biadasz to the Commanders, 3 years, $30. Dorrance Armstrong, 3 years, $33. Tony Pollard goes to Tennessee, $324. Dante Fowler, TBD. I wouldn't have done any of those moves, depending on the Fowler money. If the Fowler's like $2 million, yeah, I would have done that. That's a no-brainer. But we'll see on the money from that perspective. The issue is the Cowboys have made one move. It's re-signing long snapper Trent Sieg. It's the vet minimum. He basically, in terms of salary cap impact, is going to count between what you had with your top 51 rule, about $200-ish thousand. Unserious behavior by one of the more unserious franchises in the NFL, and that includes the Jets, who are currently having to convince Aaron Rodgers to not run for vice president with RFK Jr. That's how unserious this franchise is. So grade the Cowboys through, a little bit more time left, 2 days of free agency. A, B, C, D, or F. It's the pinned comment. The ad comes here on YouTube. Take advantage and go vote. It's an F. Jerry, Steven. The whole yacht story, I believe, is actually not true, having done some research, not, spouting off the cuff on Monday. I think it was a bachelor party for Jerry's soon-to-be granddaughter, but I'm still with the yacht on the thumbnail, because screw it, it's funny. And also, I might just lie about it, because that's how serious this team takes free agency. 5 teams have not signed an outside free agent yet. And the Cowboys' one move, fewer than anybody else, was a long snapper. I think they will sign somebody at some point. It's not going to be an expensive deal. It's going to be profoundly cheap. They're going to bargain bin again, stand up there and blame the Dak Prescott contract, and blame the Micah Parsons pending deal, and blame CeeDee Lamb, and then drag their feet on actually getting those deals done. It's embarrassing. So, with free agency underway, I do want to look at some options and where things sit for your positions of need. Running back, I'll put Rico Dowdle on here, but, I mean, that's not a great spot. Deuce Vaughn, Malik Davis, Hunter Lipke. Like, that's Snoop Conner. Like, come on. And the issue for Dallas is, look, all the teams have signed their running backs. So you get your pick of Jerick McKinnon, Antonio Gibson, or he's gone with the Patriots, sorry. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Damian Harris, J.K. Dobbins, Deonta Foreman. A.J. Dillon was bad last year. J.K. Dobbins can't stay healthy. Alexander Mattison is mediocre. It's not a great group anymore. You really missed your window with Zach Moss, which, by the way, the Bengals are paying Zach Moss less than you are paying your punter. That was too much for you? Seriously? Unbelievable statement to allow to leak. Unserious behavior. You don't like Zach Moss. It's nothing. That's too much? You like the player, but it was too much for you? Come on. Be less serious, Cowboys. Today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. That is a very serious sponsor here at the Cowboys Report. It's daily fantasy made easy. You can fairly easily win more money on Prize Picks, and the Cowboys will pay free agents. 2 to 6 player stat projections, more than or less than on those stat projections. You'll see in that middle photo, it's demons and goblins. So demons, tougher to hit. It's a higher projection. If you hit it, though, you get even more of a payout. The goblins are easier to hit, and that's certainly intriguing to make it a bit easier. I love the flex play, by the way. Unless you are doing a goblin, which is easier, the payouts aren't valuable from that perspective. So I think goblins, be aggressive, or demons be aggressive, goblins be conservative there. Today's, you can see my PGA Tour picks, by the way. Now, this has changed. Scotty Scheffler's now 5 birdies. I got in early. It's the benefit of doing it. More than 4.5 for him, less than 4 for Fitzpatrick, more than 4 for Shane Lowry, and more than 4.5 for Justin Thomas when they go play TPC Sawgrass starting Thursdays for the Thursday line, by the way. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. It's prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for the first deposit match up to $100. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. Let's move along here with some more positions of need and where things sit with just some of the names I have listed that are more feasible and affordable for Dallas. Linebacker. Now, Leighton Vander Esch for now is on this depth chart because he is not retired yet. Damone Clark, DeMarvion Overshown, maybe Marquise Bell, and Buddy Johnson. You desperately need a veteran. Now, we'll take Patrick Queen off this list, and we'll throw Terrell Dodson on there. I think that I'd actually be fine with that move. But again, it's very, very, boring-ish. Love Levante David. Eric Kendricks makes sense. Bobby Wagner makes sense. Jerome Baker would be fine. You can get that veteran linebacker in there. But I would have loved – you could have made a splash with Frankie Luvo or Azeez Al-Shaair. Jordan Hicks was 2 years, $8 million. Really? That was too much for you? Really? Seriously? Yeah, fine move. So it's starting to thin out. Starting to thin. And you got needs, as we'll get into. When the Cowboys sign a free agent, even just a re-signing, we will have a video for you. Hit that sub button right now, youtube.com/@CowboysTV for more free Dallas Cowboys YouTube videos. All right, over to corner. No real changes right now. Stephon Gilmore, Jordan Lewis, knock on wood, remain unsigned. We'll see if the Commanders pursue those 2 players as well. The cornerback market, though, is kind of thinning out, too, for that veteran addition. Kenny Moore, we signed with the Colts. Probably was a pipe dream, maybe. Darius Williams got a good amount of money, too. Adoree Jackson's unsigned, I believe. Shaq Griffin, Avonte Maddox, C.J. Henderson, Christian Fulton falling to the kind of disappointing early-round picks. Will McClay specials there. Trey White is going to have some medical stuff that's got to be sorted out there. If you lose Gilmore or Lewis, you got to sign a veteran. You can't have Deshaun Wright, Eric Scott as CB3 with all of these other needs. Offensive line time. Kind of wonder if they're just going to ride with Brock Hoffman in there as a center option if they don't draft somebody. Don't know how I love that one. Tyron Smith. The tackle market, as we'll get into here, has really not moved. been very stagnant so far. Jermaine Illuminor, guys like Hakeem Adeniji is super cheap, 8th offensive lineman pieces. Mike Onwenu re-signed. So I don't want to give false hope here. But the longer it goes without him signing, there is that chance of a hope that maybe the market never materializes for Tyron Smith and he comes back and says, I'll take the team-friendly deal. Possible. Unlikely, but possible. So what is the percent chance the Dallas Cowboys end up keeping Tyron Smith and we all feel better about the offensive tackle class, that grouping? Sound off in the comments section. Now, the offensive tackle market, again, has not made a lot of progress here. Mekhi Becton's unsigned. Josh Jones, Trent Brown, backup swing piece like Yosh Neiman, George Fant, Kendall Lamb, Jerron Christian, I think Jake Cron's an RFA. I doubt ends up getting tendered by tomorrow or later this week. Chris Hubbard. The guard market, though, and I took off the big names, it is unbelievably strong. Kevin Zeitler and Dalton Reisner are veterans. I would have I would explore Dalton Reisner last year. I would have interest this year as well still. Not going to be expensive, I don't think. Lakin Tomlinson, Andres Pete have not been great. Sadiq Charles is a swing backup. Phil Haynes. I don't love that group, but again, I'm trying to manage things how I can with the limitations of the way the Cowboys choose to spend money. Center, meanwhile, Coleman Shelton, and maybe Evan Brown. He's not very good. Maybe Bradley Bozeman. Connor Williams stand out to me of this group. I know it's weird. Connor Williams was really good last year. But coming off a torn ACL. Could be a buy low special that the Cowboys love to do. I also want to make note of defensive tackle. Hankins and Gallimore are free agents, which means for now, you've got Osa Odigizua, Chauncey Golston, and Mozzie Smith under contract. Not enough. It's not. So, free agents out there still. This group got picked over real quick. DJ Reader is probably going to be out of their price tag range. Calais Campbell would be awesome. He's probably out of their price tag range. Sheldon Rankins, I think, is affordable. Armin Watts makes sense. He can stop the run, different body type, played with Mike Zimmer. I think that makes sense and would be fine, but profoundly uninspiring for the all-in Cowboys. Of course, they're not all in. So we'll see what else happens, but Dallas got to do something in the not too distant future.